So to be able to do this effectively, he needs to be in a higher state of vibration.
Yes.
And how does he maintain and increase his vibration? What methods does he need to do to increase and maintain a high vibration now? How can he look after himself better?
He's already doing it. Being in the sun, that amplifies his energy.
Mm-hmm.
Being in nature, that amplifies his energy. And doing exercises to make sure that he's in a good physical shape.
Mm-hmm.
That make sure that he is in a higher state of vibration, and he's already doing it at the moment.
Will that take him along his highest timeline? These choices and thoughts.
Yes, he's already in the highest timeline.
Mm-hmm.
He has already solidified that.
Mm-hmm.
And when he goes into his meditation, he affirms that. So, and that timeline is becoming much stronger, and it's becoming a reality.
Mm-hmm. Has Harrison created any additional negative timelines in the last few months? He spent time shutting ones down, but are there any new ones that he's created that he needs to shut down?
At the moment, he has no negative timelines. All has been shut down.
Okay. Are these quite hard to create, additional negative timelines? Or is it easy to create them with a very simple thought?
It depends on the emotions that you give those thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have given those thoughts a very strong emotion,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna create these timelines.
Okay.
But if the emotion is not strong, so the timeline cannot be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So they shut down by themselves.
Ah, okay. So we don't need to worry if the emotion is fleeting. It's just
you need to be careful of your emotions and your thoughts. You need to become aware of that, because this is your test now.
mm-hmm.
You need to know how to manipulate that energy and control it. But if you become unaware and you're creating from the point of unknowingness, you can create multiple timelines, some of them which will not serve you in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when we are daydreaming about a future that we would like to create, if we sort of imagine a future that we would like to create, does this help it to become a reality?
Yes. Yes. Given the times where we are, where things are manifesting faster, the moment you use emotions to envision this timeline that you want, it becomes much faster. And when it comes to Harrison, when he is creating this timeline of the new earth, when he tries to use the specifics of what he wants this reality to be, he's not able to create that timeline, because the current reality pops up. But when he uses the emotions, Like he wants this reality to feel like home, to feel easy to live in, to be happy, to be fun, to be creative. Now he is able to create that timeline perfectly.
Will it become easier to sustain these positive emotions in the timeline as we go forwards? Because in life, it sometimes feels these positive moments are very small and they don't take up a lot of place within the lifetime. It can be fleeting moments. Will it become a time when they become the majority of our time? These positive, creative, happy, joyful moments.
Yes, they can and they are. You are supposed to learn how to sustain those emotions for a longer period.
Okay.
Where what happens is that when Harrison was starting this work, most of the time he was in the negative, emotional kind of thought of pattern. So what he did to maintain these good emotions, he had a notebook, and every time he would catch himself going in the wrong path, what you would term the wrong thought process, he would start to write consciously of what he wanted to feel, the happiness, the joy. And the more you do this, the more you create neural pathways within your brain. And the more you do this, the more it sticks. And the older kind of neural pathway becomes less and less strong. It gets dilated. So you find yourself in a state of happiness, joy, and peace when you do this. Because if you're not able to achieve this, it will be practically difficult for you to move into a much more happier, positive timeline. Because this is a personal decision each and every single soul is gonna make.
So we have to plan and learn how to sustain positive emotions. And then will all of those people who have learnt how to sustain those positive emotions, will they converge together on the same timeline?
Yes. And this is already happening in the dream world, where they are meeting, and it's becoming stronger and stronger with each and every single day. And it's something that I would suggest every single soul do, because taking in action is taking action. So if you don't know how to control your thoughts, how are you gonna survive in an era where things are manifesting in a faster rate? Yes.
So learning to control our thoughts is a really important and valuable skill now.
Yes, you need to train yourself on how to control your thoughts
Training.
and your emotions. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's gonna be difficult for those who have not chosen to work on themselves to be here, because the frequency will not be matching. So they'll have to go somewhere where the frequency are much.
So with the alternate timelines, we all choose different timelines, and there are multiple timelines as we're traversing our reality. So with these people who've chosen not to work on themselves, Would they not just be on a different timeline? How does that work? Or are the timelines converging into two main timelines?
Earth can biolocate itself, where people of the higher nature move into a higher powered earth, and those on a lower nature can remain behind.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a different variation of those timelines. But those who choose to remain behind, Earth is not gonna be survivable for them. So at some point they'll have to live completely off Earth.
Okay. So even the lower timelines will not be a match for them.
For a time it will, but as time progresses and Earth continues to move into higher levels of timelines, it's not gonna be survivable for them.
Okay. So there will be no dark and low timelines left for Earth. They will all be shut down.
There will still be contrast, but it's not what you're experiencing now, where the dark and the light are fighting. But even in the higher timelines that Earth is shifting to, there will still be duality in them, but not as you experience them here.
So this duality that may exist, it won't be such extreme manipulation and cruelty that we have now.
Yes.
Good. So 1, 2, breathing faster now. 3, 4, beginning to move your arms and your legs. 5 and 6, becoming more aware of the room around you. 7 and 8, coming up nicely now. 9, 10, wide awake and stretching, feeling wonderful all over. Trying to shout in your ears. Oh,
yeah.
Is that reassuring? Do you feel better with those answers? Did that make you feel better, or do you feel like, oh, I knew that anyway?
Sometimes you have this deeper knowing within yourself, but it
Yeah.
feels good when you get this surety from yourself saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all nice to hear, isn't it? It's very reassuring. It's all a bit confusing with timelines. I never quite understand them really.
Yeah.
It
So,
said you didn't have any negative ones to shut down, so yeah.
so it wasn't kind of a negative one, but it was also a timeline. So
That's really weird. That's weird. I've probably got timelines where I'm living in France and Spain, and I'm going to have timelines where I'm living in all different countries, because I keep thinking, I could move there, I could move here, I could move there, and I sit and I daydream about it for ages. So I'm probably creating timelines.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's okay if they're okay for you to create those timelines. That's a beautiful thing to do.
I guess. I don't know. I don't like the thought of having too many though. It gets out of control, doesn't it? I'd rather just have the one that I'm in now. I need to focus on that one more. It's quite interesting what you were saying about like learning how to sustain positive emotions. So like writing it down in a book and just making yourself just do it consciously.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I was starting I would find myself constantly in a stream of negative thoughts. So when I was trying to shift from the teachers I was listening to, so I had this book where when I would find myself going into that streak, I would take this book and start writing something that I was appreciating about myself. Just good things. And before I knew it, it became the dominant force
Yeah,
within myself. So,
that's a
and
really
then I
good
started,
idea.
yeah, so the negative emotions became less and less and less
Yeah,
until now when I look back and say, and I can say, wow, I'm grateful for that Harrison who did those kind of
yeah,
things, because wow, that was a lot of work to do it consciously. And
yeah.
then so what happened was that every single time when I would wake up, um what I knew was that when you go to sleep, your conscious mind shuts off.
Hmm.
So, and every single thought that you have, whether it's negative, it drops off.
Hmm.
So when you sleep, your vibration rises and
Yeah.
you're able to merge with the highest forms of yourself in your dream state.
Hmm.
So when you're waking up, you have some kind of microseconds before your train of thoughts start again where you left them yesterday.
Yeah.
So you have a short window of time where you could just start having those positive thoughts, and that's what I started utilizing for myself. You know,
Okay. So you're sort of remembering those positive ones at that point when you're first waking up. So just kind of
yeah.
get your little book out and look at all the marvelous things you've written down
Uh,
about.
no, it was just thinking. I'll just wake up and just say some positive words about myself.
Yeah.
I'm healthy, I'm grateful, and all that stuff. And
That's
I
did
would,
that the other day. She did a little mantra. It's kind of like a positive affirmations, she called it. So she just had a list of all these lovely things that she said, and it's really nice to listen to actually. So,
yeah,
yeah.
it gives you like a longer kind of period of time before the negative thoughts come
Yeah.
streaming back. So
Yeah.
you have already taken some power back for yourselves, yourself. So after doing that for a couple of weeks, I became stronger and stronger with controlling my thoughts.
Yeah. It's a very good idea.
Yeah, I was
I need to
remembering.
do that. I need to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I remember there was one. I don't know if it was Dolores Cannon or who I had saying that when you are going to these higher kind of timelines, like 5D, um, thoughts happen instantaneously the moment you
Yeah.
think of it. Now you can imagine if you haven't trained your thought and then you say, I wish I would die, and then the next thing you're
Yeah.
dead. So
I had a second when I was at the shops the other day, and I suddenly felt in a really good mood for no reason whatsoever. And I felt really sort of elated and happy, and everything was just, and everyone I spoke to seemed really happy, and everything was lovely. And it was like, I suddenly felt like I was in like a different reality. I'm like, wow, what's happened? And then it wasn't until I experienced that I suddenly thought, crikey, a lot of the time I'm not in that space and I'm not feeling that positive. So I really do need to do what you're saying to work on that positive mindset. So I think I
yeah,
tend to get a bit sort of like down that, oh, I'm tired. Oh, the kids are annoying me. Oh, everything's awful. Oh, the weather's cold. Oh, it's not nice. Oh, everything's horrible. So I need to, yeah, be more positive.
yeah, and it's much easier to say it than to do it practically, because
Yeah.
now you have to do it physically and train your thoughts into this.
Yeah.
But
It's
the good thing
important
is
though.
that
Oh, excuse me.
yeah, in the sessions that you are doing, it's easier for you to just reprogram your subconscious and
That's
starting
true.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I'll have to do that when you do my next session then. Reprogram my subconscious, make me a bit more cheerful. To be a
Yeah,
bit of
sure.
a